Well, hello all, Sandy here, and what I'm out here in the garage working on now is I'm making a little step stool. I have one that I use just like it, and I use that for a pattern. It's just this piece of board, two pieces of board, as you can see. They are, let's see, 5 inches tall, and then if you wanted to do the pattern, you would just measure out, what is that, 10 1/4 long, and then go up here and 8 1/4 long up here, or the width of it, and then just go from point to point and draw your lines up. And then my slats are 2.5 inch slats. There it is, good sturdy one, and they're 11 1/4 long. And then this is a 1/2 inch dowel rod, and I had a 1/2 inch bit here, but it was just a little too big. And my husband went to the garage because he's run into this before, and he found me one that he had cut down or shaved down a 1.5 inch to make one of these fit tight. And we tried it, put it on a, drill it in another piece of board, and it fits nice and tight. It's going to be good and sturdy, and that's what makes this little step stool good and strong, where you can stand on it. And it's just some cut pieces of wood. So I don't know if y'all can see that. 8 1/4 on the top, 10 1/4 on the bottom, and it's 5 inches tall. And then my slats are 2.5 inch slats. Of course, you could use any size slat, you just have to space them right. And what I'll do when I go to put this together, and it's kind of hard to do this one-handed, is I'll stand this up, and then I'll put a slat here on first, and then go to this side and put a slat on, and that way I can eyeball my spacing on the middle piece. I'll put it in last. But now I'm going to drill my holes for my dowel rod and start putting this together. Well, I've got my dowel rod put in. I did put some glue on it. Now I'm going to take my little slats here. I've sanded it all down and put them on. Of course, I'll put the two end ones on first, and then fit the one in the middle so I can space it just right. And it'll be ready. It's all sanded, ready to be painted. I don't have this on there right, but you get the gist of what I'm doing. So I'm going to get my brad nailer, put a little glue on the bottom side of these, and nail them on. And probably before I go in here from the garage, I'll start another project so I can have it ready. When I finish this one up, I can do it, but I'll show you that in just a minute. What I'm doing here is I took a 4x4 post, and I made me some slices, some thin slices. I'm going to burn the edges of them, and then I'm going to put some polyacrylic on them, and then I'll stack them together and wrap them around with some jute and a little tag, and they'll be little coasters. But let's see how it turns out, the burned edges. Get this in frame for y'all. All right. Let that cool and go to the next one. Great. My bottle surely isn't empty. a little bit. I'll turn them over and do the back side too, and the polyacrylic will bring out the color in the wood. They'll be pretty. Okay, now I'm going to turn them over and repeat the process on the back side. I'm going to start out by giving the whole little footstool a coat of the Waverly moss. I'm just going to keep this kind of simple, but I'll give it a coat of the Waverly moss, and then I'm just going to stencil probably Country Kitchen or something on it, just something simple. So we'll see how it turns out, but oh boy, I gotta go in those little cracks. So I'm gonna have to turn it sideways. I prefer starting with the cracks and kind of making sure it doesn't run through. So I'm gonna continue on with this, and I'll show you once I have it totally painted the color it turns out. I mean, because this, I believe, dries a little bit darker than it goes on. That's what I'm starting with. Okay, now that I have it painted, I made this stencil. It's just a hen with Country Kitchen on it. And as you can see, like, there's spots right there. I'm going to have to be really careful not to let it bleed under there. But even if it does, I'm going to take it out to the garage and kind of sand it down a little bit after I have it stenciled on and it's dried well. So that's where I'm at now. I cut this out with my Cameo, and I'm going to stencil it on in black and let it dry well and take it to the garage and sand it down. I have it stenciled, and I kind of went around the edges with some black ink. Now I have to put a polyacrylic on it because it is a step stool and you'll be getting on and off it, and I want it sealed good. So now I'm going to get my polyacrylic out and just put a coat of that on there, couple coats, probably 3 on the top. It'll take, you know, I have to dry in between each coat, but then it'll be finished. And here's that one I have around the house. It's just been hanging, that I said I use in my kitchen and toss it underneath the cabinet when I'm not using it. I think I'm going to have to paint it because I really like that one. But that's where I got my pattern. Although the top of it is, the slats on it are further apart, but I didn't have any that size, so I used what I had. Yep, I'm going to have to paint mine now. Now here are my coasters, and I'm going to start giving them a coat of the polyacrylic. It's really sucking that in. But look how pretty that wood changes, the color. Yeah, that's pretty. I think I'm going to have to do more of these because I want a set of them too. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Just make sure there isn't any running over, because I'm doing the bottoms first and I don't want any drips on the tops or runs. But see the difference? Isn't that pretty? I mean, it'll be an unusual coaster. Okay, I'm going to continue on and give these several coats, especially on the top side. Well, I'm going to have to do it because you can turn it over either way. It doesn't, you wouldn't know really which was the top, so it is going to have a couple coats on both sides. All right, I'm going to keep doing this. Well, I've started on another cabinet door that my husband gave me, and I thought I only had 3 of them. I had 4. So I've only painted one before, and this one's kind of going to be similar to the one I have that I've already done, but not the same. It's going to have a little added, this one kind of seems kind of warped. Not bad. Anyways, I'm giving it a coat of, because I am going to decoupage on this one too, and I'm giving it a coat of the Waverly for the decoupage part. I don't have to coat it real well, but it does need to have a white color on it. I'll let this dry. This is plaster, it's the color. And I'm going to use the I guess this is aspen green. Yeah, the others are too dark. I'm going to use the aspen green on the outside of it, the frame of it. And I have some knobs to go on this one. I'll just make it just a little different than the other one. Well, I'll have a different decoupage paper and the knobs. I think it's going to be pretty. I think it's going to turn out real pretty. And with one of those, I still have 2 more left. I think I'll maybe make a tray. I don't know. We'll see what I get in the mood for. But it'll probably be a bit before I do another one. Alright, I'm going to continue on. Let this dry after I have it coated, and then come back with the aspen green on for the frame part. Alright, these are the knobs that I have to go on it, and I could either get them in chrome or the black, so I chose the black. And I'm putting a little of this Rub and Buff in the color Antique Gold, because you're still going to see the black from up in here. So that's, I'll probably have 3 knobs on it, so I want to get these done so that they can be drying and be ready to go. I'd use my finger, but I really got to get down in those grooves. Once I do that, then I can use my finger. Get something down in there anyway. It doesn't hurt that it's going to have some black on it. That's fine, because I'm not trying to coat them completely. But I'm trying to get down in that little space right in there. There, I think I got it down in there pretty much. Okay, then I'm just going to go over it with my finger. And I'll do 3 of them and let them dry so they'll be ready. gonna go around it like this, so it's a little more even and not so thick. All right, that's good. So a little hunk right there. All right, I have one more to do, and then I'm gonna set these aside. Well, I have this all painted, and I'm trying to cut this down. So I'm just running my fingernail. I think that's gonna work. That one needs to go a little further. So I'm just gonna run my fingernail. I'm gonna cut my side off first and then put it back down right in there. It's this pretty bulky piece of paper. Where to put my scissors? How do you do that? Oh, there they are. So, how did you do that? Now, where did I crease it at? Right there. All right, I see it. I might be off camera, but I have to get this cut properly, because it won't give you a second chance. I'm trying to think where I was. Well, I'm throwing it in front of the camera. I have to do this because I can't see it again. The last one I done, I think I tore it. I put water on it and tore it, but I kind of wanted to put this one. Okay, I see. I see where it's at now. Okay. Don't take my eye off from it. I think it's about right to there. I'm going to come on down, just make sure. Go ahead and cut that off so I don't have to fight it. Probably help if I didn't have my frame on a... I'm going to have to remove that, I think. It was good when I was painting, but not now. And as you can tell, it's not something I do a lot of. But I have these cupboards, door fronts, that I did want to do something with. Okay. I have just about got it. Scissors again. Oh, I'm going to turn that heater off. That little heater's running and it's hot. I got it right up in the camera, don't I? Oh. Shoot. There. Get that out of my way. Okay. That's looking good. I think I'm going to start up here and work it down with the if I have to, I have a sharp razor. Okay, I like that. I forgot to get a brush for my Mod Podge. And my Mod Podge. What did I do with it? There's my Mod Podge. And I need a brush. And I've got to turn that heater off. Okay. And I've used all my good brushes. They're all dirty. Great. Well, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go wash out my brushes because the one I want to use, they're all dirty. I'm back. I'm going to start at the top. I did try some black wax on my edges, which I think I'm going to do. But that's after I get this on there and this dries good. Oh, shucks. Hope I got that wash good. All right. Oh boy. I probably should have had this centered and then pulled it up. What I should have done. Can't really pull that up, but I have to because it's wrinkled. Okay, now pull it up this way. I'm going to go ahead and put my Mod Podge over the top of this. I like coat. Okay. I did sand the plaster color down a bit to get the bumps off from it. I really don't care if it has some wrinkles. I really don't. Okay, now some more. Because I think that gives it texture and looks nice. I don't talk too much when I'm doing this because I don't even really hardly breathe. I hold my breath at everything I do. Give it a lick and a promise. little spot right there I'm going to have to cut off. That's fine. Okay, I'm satisfied with the way it looks. It's got some wrinkles in it, but I'm going to run probably some wax over it when I get finished to make them show up. Alright, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back, I think, with some black wax. Let me kind of show you. I've kind of tried it. May not be totally what I'm going to do, but can you see this right in here? I've went around with just to give it some depth and some different, not just solid green. It's not totally the way I want it, but I wanted to see if it would work in case I need to paint over it. And I like the way it's kind of dark here. I want to go around all the edges and maybe right in through here. And then after this dries also, I wanted to go over that with probably my special dark, the min wax, like I use a lot right here. But I have some finishing wax, top coat black, that I put on here. Am I even in frame? I think I'm holding it out here. Okay, I said the min wax, and then I'm going to have this special dark, or that's the special dark, this is the black. But I have to let all this dry now before I go any further. And then after that, I will take my, let's see, where's my, I'll be putting my knobs on. I think that'll be pretty. Got a bubble right there. I don't really like bubbles. I don't mind wrinkles. But a lot of times when they dry, they kind of all smooth out. Alright guys, I'm going to let this dry and then I'll continue on. Well, it's dry, and I made a boo-boo because I wanted to put the birds to the top here because I have holes here. And my knobs have to go on, so I had to scoop my knobs in instead of putting them more about like this with one in the middle. I had to pull these two here in. But, okay, I don't know if anybody will even notice. Now this is a finishing wax, top coat black, and it goes on dark. So, I'm going to use this, wipe a lot of it off. See, and I need a rag. I forgot to get one. I'll use this. I'm going on darker than I did over there. I don't want it to set. I'd rather keep adding as to... Yeah, I like that. Okay. I may not need to wipe it off as fast. But I'm going to go around the corners and the edges with it. Maybe go a little darker. I'm going to get some more off of the towel. It'll be all right. Am I in frame? think it'll look better than just be a plain green. Okay. Don't want lines. Wipe too much off. Do want it around the edges. I think that's pretty. Let me see. All right, I like the way that looks. Well, there went my brush. Gotta lighten it up. Okay, where'd my brush go? It rolled away. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry up some. Round that off. I like it on the very ends. Go on the sides. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and then buff it a little bit. I think that's what I'm supposed to do with this. I'm not used to using this one. Allow the wax to dry. Kind of wipe away excess. Okay, that's good. I done it right. the way that looks. It gives it some depth. And I'll probably, once it dries, go over the rest of the frame because I don't want it that dark. I'll go over it with this special dark when that's finished. And then as soon as that's done, I'll put my knobs on. Well, before that, before I put my knobs on, I'll go to the back and just cover it so it won't look like a door with missing hinges on the back.